Good afternoon. How many people are excited about all these new things that are coming out? Me. Okay. How many of you in the room are a team of one or you have a small team? Okay, then this is going to be very helpful to you. I'm Jolene Pierangeli. I am the Associate Director of Digital Marketing, which Evie already said. And this is my second Share conference. I started my journey with this project in June of 2015 when I actually started with the organization. And I had some pretty lofty goals. I'm responsible for 9 domains and 9 brands. So I don't just do SEO, I do everything that's within the digital space. So they asked me to update their sites to be responsive. And they said, can you do the first 6 or 7 in 6 months? And I was like, sure. That's why, you want me to do what? And the remaining 2 sites could you have done by next month and put them on e-commerce. And I'm also responsible for e-commerce because it's on a computer. So I used the migration strategy with the BrightEdge platform and the site to make sure that the sites were built correctly. If you're not familiar with this, in the tool you can actually set up migration dashboards. So this will save you some time for making mistakes later. And a big thanks to my agencies that I worked with. I work with 1 developer agency and 1 creative agency and 1 paid search agency. Everything else is just me. So that's how I achieved these goals so quickly. So where is the SEO? Vibrant is a caffeine aid. There's 200 milligrams of caffeine per tablet. And this was my first project. This site was built in April of 2015, and the developer just decided to scrap a brand that was really old and just build a site that was brand new without doing basic things like a sitemap to make sure you got all those links and putting title pages and meta tags. And is anybody else feeling really anxious if you walked into this? Because that's what happens. Okay. So where to start when nothing exists? So this is kind of like a roadmap for you. If you've never done something like this before or you've walked into it, this is really helpful. Create a sitemap. It's really simple to do, and it will help you understand what kind of pages you have. Figure out what's missing. Do you have title? Do you have meta keywords? Do you have anything on the page that's relevant to what that page is trying to say? Look for your errors, 300, 400. Make sure your canonical errors are fixed, that you're redirecting. This is stuff that you should be doing when you're building a site. Check your page load times. I think page load times has been discussed at every single thing I've gone to so far today. Look for your backlinks. So when you just completely take down a site and build a brand new site without looking to make sure you've linked everything, you could have backlinks that are no longer pointing to anything that's good. So you're going to lose some of your authority on your page, right? Because, by the way, traffic went from 100,000 to 4,000 when they did this. So this is something to make sure you want to fix, okay? So look at your URLs and your page structure. Make sure you're having a good customer experience. And then you're doing the research for your keywords, duplicate content, all that fun stuff that you do. Okay, and then you have to plan the work and you have to work the plan. And I love MEMS, by the way. So I went to my boss and I said, I can do what you're asking, but I need a platform. If you want me to do all this research, it's gonna take me a lot longer than 6 months. So they said, okay, you can have a platform. And I said, good, I'm gonna go get BrightEdge. And they were like, okay. So I got BrightEdge. And if you are having how many people don't have BrightEdge in the room and want it? Do you want it too? Okay. Well, I can help you explain this to your executives if you need help. So the first thing I did was said, okay, I want to use Vibrant as my onboarding project. So everything I did for the first 8 weeks was 100% dedicated to this website so that it could get fixed fast. The other ones weren't responsive design yet, and I wanted to make sure I had a great case study to show my executives. So this is what we did. So we ran a site audit, we uploaded the keyword research, I set all my preferred landing pages. I know you all have gone through the onboarding, the exercises you do during all of your certification. And I fixed everything that was severe and worked my way backwards. And I was keeping track of what I did and what I assigned. So you can assign tasks in the tool. Initially, I was working with a different developer who kept telling me that it was done. The site audit kept saying it wasn't done. So this is a great way if you are like a small team or a team of one, when you're running these site audits, you can actually make sure people are doing the work they're saying they're doing. So something to keep in mind. And then you run another site audit because you want to make sure that they've done the work, right? Now you have your plan and you're so close to being finished and you're happy. Look at that kid, she's like so happy. She's like, okay. So you need to create a spreadsheet so that you can track your implementation and so that you're not having those moments where you're like, did I do this or did I not do this? And I have this spreadsheet, which I'm gonna give to Evie and she can post, so if you guys need it, you can use it so you don't have to recreate the wheel. And what I did was I actually told my paid search agencies, if you want my business, you're gonna take the training. So everybody that I worked with from a paid search perspective has taken the training. They know how to use the tool. They know how to test keywords within the tool so that you're not paying for them to test it. They're testing it before you're paying for it. So if you're not doing that, you can. And then don't forget to train the content folks too. So if anybody is writing content, I'm sure some of you have probably had this argument. They want to write about this, and you want them to write this because this is what BrightEdge says we need to write about, right? Although this new intelligence thing is going to make it all so much better. So now that you've done this and you've notated your events, how many of you notate every time you do something in the tool? Everybody should be raising their hand. Okay, so that will actually help you track to make sure you're actually making improvements. And then when they go, what's your ROI? You can be like, see this event that we did where we added all this content? Look how much traffic went up after that. It's good idea. And then run another site audit. So this is a common theme, keep running site audits. And then make sure those tasks are completed as you go. And then run another site audit just to make sure, you get 3 a week, you may as well use them all. And then submit your site map to Search Console. Does everybody use Search Console in the room? I asked because they weren't. Okay. Just making sure, I had this happen to me, so we don't want it to happen to anyone else. And then you get to watch it grow. So this is showing you the keywords that were ranked on page 1 from the beginning in, I think, 2014 until current, August. This is when I ran my data. And then you're looking at the growth as it's gone on throughout the project start. So I'm not sure exactly how to use the pointer, so I'm just going to walk over. This is when the new site was fixed and launched, and then you could see what happened. So you could see how BrightEdge really made an impact to the site, and it corresponds to site traffic as well, which is great for the brand. All of the keywords, once everything was fixed, saw a significant lift. I mean, it's an exciting day when you're an SEO person. Everybody in the room is probably like, I want that to happen. It will, right? And then your page 1, so maintaining that page 1 and then looking at your clicks and your impressions. If you're wondering what in the world happened in March, we did a South by Southwest event in Austin. So everybody was like going to the site because we were sampling product. Same thing here, it's continuing to grow, and it's been continuing to grow over the last few months and remaining steady. So now we're starting to see a steady pace, and now we're about to add more content to the site so people can understand the differences of caffeine versus, an energy drink. And then everybody wants to be on page 1. We actually did make it to page 1. We were being beat by WebMD. This is a consumer health product. I don't know if anybody in the room works with consumer health products or RX products. Anybody other than me? Okay. So WebMD is sometimes a pain, right? Because their content's really good. So just know it can be achieved. It doesn't take an army to have great SEO, just a lot of planning and my spreadsheet that I'll give you. And of course, BrightEdge. It was really BrightEdge. My spreadsheet will just help you track everything. Migration dashboards for new sites and existing sites. So if you're, making any kind of changes, I highly recommend this because it's going to help you avoid mistakes before you make them. So if you do a site audit on a site that you're about to rebuild, you see all these errors, you know not to make those errors on the new site that you're building, and then you can give developers feedback, or if you're developing the site as well, at least you know what not to do. And give people the opportunity to understand SEO. You get unlimited users, right, on the package? Everybody gets this. So I offer everybody, even if they have nothing to do with SEO or marketing, the opportunity to learn about BrightEdge and take the certification, because it helps me making a case so much faster, right? So that's it. Thank you.